Hello, and welcome back to EcoWorld. Today's video is going to be all about sustainable agriculture and how you can help to make the transition to sustainable agriculture faster. So if you didn't watch my last video, which was about reducing your carbon emissions, go ahead and watch it. This is especially important as the days grow shorter and the nights grow longer, and as it's getting darker and darker. And also because the winter holidays are approaching, and usually a lot of people travel. So I also mentioned sustainable traveling options in my video. So go ahead and watch it if you don't know how to reduce your carbon emissions. Get comfortable on the sofa with a hot chocolate, and let's dive into today's topic, sustainable agriculture. So before I start telling you or encouraging you to help to transition to sustainable agriculture, to help the transition to sustainable agriculture, I would like to tell you why it is important to switch to sustainable agriculture. So, unsustainable agriculture is very unsustainable, as the name suggests. Usually, the method is you cut down a forest or you kind of cut down an ecosystem that animals used to live in. Then, if it's a monoculture, which is when one type of crop is planted across the whole field, and this also weakens the soil health. This harms biodiversity. So biodiversity is like the soil microorganisms and animals, basically nature in the simplest terms. And then after that, the whole field is sprayed with chemicals and pesticides. So this is very harmful to our health. And then a water gun or a water shooter wastes, so waters the whole field. So unsustainable agriculture is responsible for around 70% of the world's freshwater use. That's a lot of water. That's why we need a more secure and a more sustainable way to feed our ever-growing population for the long term. So, what are the different methods of sustainable agriculture? There are so many different methods of sustainable agriculture that if I would discuss them all in one video, this video would probably take 1 hour. So that's why I'm going to touch down on the main ones. The first method that came up to me when I was researching about this topic was agroforestry. This is when you add trees to the conventional farming method, which is basically the normal farming method. This helps improve the soil health and promotes biodiversity. Oh, and another important factor. 3 different things that are done, usually on different lands, are done on one land. What are these 3 different things? These 3 different things include growing crops, raising livestock, and planting trees. So this helps protect biodiversity because forests don't have to be cut down to make way for growing crops or raising livestock. I think that agroforestry is a good way and that it's a good start to sustainable agriculture. But I still believe that there's so many other different ways that are even more effective and that protect the biodiversity and help mitigate climate change even more. The second sustainable farming method that I am personally a fan of is called permaculture. Permaculture is when you grow strips of native plants like in between growing crops. And you also grow different types of crops to not stress the soil. This promotes biodiversity and supplies a lot of food, so this can even yield more. And no waste is produced in permaculture. All of the failed crops are either used for something that helps with the landscape, or it is put into compost. That's why I like permaculture, because it promotes biodiversity and it also produces no waste at all. Another method that I love, and it's not really that known, it's called as aquaponics. Aquaponics is when fishes are also present. let's start with the basic first. So, aquaponics is when plants are grown indoors. This requires no pesticides. This is very healthy for us as well. And in the water that they're grown in, fishes are present. This also helps tackle the overfishing problem. So, aquaponics helps by tackling the overfishing problem, and it also saves water as it recycles water in the very enclosed system, and it requires no pesticides, which is a lot more healthier for us and protects our pollinators, so bees and butterflies and birds. I personally love this method of farming, and I wish it could be used worldwide. But the problem is the costs. But with more funding and more support, aquaponics can be the future method of farming. And another farming method that's known a lot now is called as vertical farming. It is when plants are grown vertically, so on shelves. This saves space, which is vital for urban areas, and supplies foods without pesticides and with less water. What is my favorite? Aquaponics. Comment down your favorite method below. Now for the most important part, how you can help to make the transition to sustainable farming faster. There are many action ideas. If you have any more action ideas, please list them down in the comments so that more people can act for more sustainable farming. The first thing you can do is to buy organic food or to buy from your local farm. This also reduces your carbon footprint because buying from your local farm means that you're eating seasonal and also locally produced. Buying organic is also better for your health because no pesticides or less chemicals are used. The next thing you can do is to raise awareness. Inform your family and friends and your classmates or the people you work with in your office about why sustainable farming is important and inform them about the different methods of sustainable farming. And also encourage them to act. You can tell them these list of actions or you can, encourage them to buy organic foods. You can also have a talk with your local supermarket for them and encourage them to only sell organic foods. It is hard to encourage everybody in the world to only buy organic foods. That is why we need system change. Encouraging your local supermarkets can help provide everybody with healthier and more sustainable food. And lastly, but not the least, you can also write to your government or your city mayor to only permit sustainable farming. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. And I wish you a nice winter holidays and also a nice Christmas. See you!